Hello. So today I am back with a new pen to share with you guys. I got this a little while ago, but I've been kind of sick for a while, so I thought I would wait to open it and share it with you guys. So let's have a look. So as you can see, it is a BENU, and this is my very first BENU. I don't have any other BENU pens. It took me the longest time to decide whether I really wanted this design or not. I've been looking at BENU pens for probably a couple of years now and could just never really pick which one I really wanted. I have had several BENUs in my cart ready to pull the trigger, but I have never done it. I don't know. I never thought I would be into these pens, but because they're just too glitzy and glamorous for me. I am a very kind of earthy, sort of subtle, simple kind of aesthetic person, so I didn't really think I'd be attracted to these. This box is really hard to get open. It's super tight. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, and there's a little sleeve inside here and some cut up paper. And whoa, look at that cartridge, it's huge. So let's take it out and have a look. Whoa, oh my gosh. Wow, this is really beautiful. Oh wow. You know, it's actually heavier than I thought. I have never touched a BENU before, so I didn't really know how heavy they were, and I knew they were resin pens, but I thought, you know, like the little Jinhao 82s, they can be pretty light once you take the cap off. So I was kind of thinking it would be similar to that, just sort of a thin shell, but this actually feels quite substantial. It's really smooth. Wow, it's super pretty. It has a whole ton of shimmer in there. There's these giant chunks of glitter in here that have different colors. There's like a bluish green and an orangey yellow. And I think mine has a lot of gold on the bottom here. I've seen pictures online and other people's pens, and the gold kind of goes to here, but mine goes most of the way up the body of the pen. Let's open it. Oh, it doesn't continue. This gold doesn't continue up into here. Oh, wow. And the section has this sort of purple iridescence to it. It's a little bit transparent here, so you can see the feed through here, but I'm not sure if that's really picking up on camera, but there's this sort of purple chatoyance or something through there, as well as the milky jade green. So I think you can see that purple. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera. It's kind of, when the light shines through it, you can see it, but it kind of just looks mostly sort of blue on here, but it is actually got this purple hue to it that's quite strong. But yeah, as you can see, my gold comes all the way up to pretty much, I don't know, 3/4 of the pen body there, not including the section part. But that is gorgeous. Wow. I think it looks better in person than it does on camera. Although it is still probably beautiful. I'm looking at it through the camera now and oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And then the cap has the same kind of tealish, jadish color down here, and it goes into a sort of rich, shimmery blue, a little lean towards the purple. And then we have some of those glitter chunks on the top there, and silver nib and silver clip. And then I think the reason I really, really wanted this model compared to other models is the band has been integrated into this resin. I really do not like the look of the ones that have a solid color here. I love how this kind of just flows from one end to the other. So I think that's pretty much why I decided to get this model. I also have my eye on the BENU Cat's Eye, I think it's called. Sorry for the pun there, it was unintentional. But because it continues the resin through here, I'll put up a picture of it. And I think that just makes it look way more cohesive, and it just flows so well with the design. I think the design aesthetic behind this was sort of like the beach, so beach sand and then the water and then perhaps the sky, or maybe just deeper ocean sea here. It really is lovely. I think if you're on the fence about this, I would get it. It's really delicious. All the little swirls and colors. You really can't pick up the purple. It's really hard. I mean, I know it's sort of showing up slightly purple there, but it is quite a purple shift. I think you can see it in here. That just doesn't show up on camera compared to what it is in real life. But yeah, and yeah, it definitely has some weight to it. I mean, it's not a heavy pen by any, stretch of the imagination, but it is heavier than I thought. It feels good quality. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It sort of like feels like a thick-bodied resin there. So absolutely gorgeous. And this grip is really nice. It doesn't interfere at all. You can feel the threads here for sure. This step doesn't affect me at all. Like, I can't feel that at all. I can feel this a little bit, but it does not interfere with how I hold my pen. And sometimes I hold my pen like this, sometimes I hold it right up here, and there's a little step here that is very smooth. It doesn't actually, it's sort of a ridge, but it's a graduated ridge there. It's not a harsh one. So that is really nice. So it stops your fingers from going all the way down. But I am probably going to be holding it around here, and I can feel those threads, but it is not annoying at all. And then this is a really lovely weight here. The facets on the body do not irritate at all. It is super smooth, and oh wow, it is really, really nice. Oh, I'm so glad I got it. I am not disappointed at all. And I love that it has a ton of gold in there, because I kind of wanted more gold than the blue. Although I really love this jade color. I guess I wouldn't have minded if the jade went further into here, but that is absolutely gorgeous. I've been wanting to get my hands on the TWSBI Eco Jade that sold out a couple of years ago, and I just can't find one online, but I would really love to get that. That's one of my favorite colors, just that sort of translucent green. And this is not really close to that. It is much bluer, much more aqua kind of colored. I guess it isn't really jade, it's sort of an aqua color, but totally gorgeous. Yes. Okay, well, I guess let's have a look at some different inks that I might possibly want to ink this up with. So actually, before we choose the inks, I just wanted to show you, I'm going to shine this light here on the corner. See how you can see that purple there? That is kind of what I mean about the purple showing up in certain light situations. So you can see it kind of in the body of the pen right here. And that just shows up every now and then. It's not a dominant color at all, but in certain light situations, it really shows up. Oh, you can see it really strong. See different angles and stuff. So for the majority of the time, it is that purple, it is that blue and sort of teal color. You get sort of a hint of that purple. You can see it really well right there. It's kind of like fish scales, you know, how you kind of from one angle you see the different rainbow kind of shimmery effect, and that's kind of what this is. It has this purple that just shows up every now and then. You can see it right there on the bottom. Okay, enough of this shimmer play. Let's go choose a color. All right, so I went through my collection and I grabbed a couple of inks that I think would be really good matches for this. There is a bunch of colors in here with the brownish gold up into the aqua tealish color. This blue has a little hint of green in it as well. And then we have that beautiful sort of purple, glow effect in there. So the first one I grabbed was golden brown, because this is a very yellow leaning gold. It's not a red gold at all. I am not going to put shimmer in this for my first time round. I think a shimmering ink would look stunning in here, obviously, because of the shimmery effect of all of these resins in here. But I'm just going to stick to just a regular ink for my first time round so I can try it out without any hindrances at all. So I think golden brown would be a gorgeous match here. Then I went into the tealish colors, and I think this might be a little teal, a little too teal. You can see more of that in the section here, but I think you can kind of see it here. It kind of shifts. So it's definitely in there, that greenish teal aqua color, but I don't feel like it really matches a ton. So I'm probably not going to go with that one, but that's just a suggestion. Now this one, Paradise Blue, definitely has a green lean to it, but is more aligning more with this color palette. And I mean, you don't have to choose an ink that matches the pen, but I don't know, it just feels kind of a nice synergy when you have something that goes with the pen when you're writing. It just feels kind of nice, I find anyway. So this Paradise Blue is actually a really great match because it has, in the lighter tones here, it's a little more aqua, and then it definitely has a bit of a darker blue halo effect. So that one is a strong contender, I think, as a good match. Then Private Reserve Infinity Turquoise is looking very blue now that we pulled up that more tealish Paradise Blue, but again, this pulls out the color highlights in here that are that nice, strong, rich turquoise color. So definitely a good match too. Then more into the blue would be the Soda Pop Blue. So this is Robert Oster, and I think this one might, I mean, you can see it in here. There's a little more of that sort of much more true blue color, but I do think the pen leans a little more teal. And it's funny, when you're looking at it alone, it's hard to tell what actual shades these are, but once you put it against something that is a little bluer, you can see that this is a lot more of a dark teal than a blue, so that probably won't be a good match. This one here, Sailor Shikiori Fujisugata, is a good match for that crazy purple that we can see in there, and I think that's kind of a nice idea to have a sort of subtle callback to that, and it works well with the color scheme of the pen. And then this one is an even more saturated purple, or pinkish purple, which is not exactly the color of this, but I think it contrasts really well with this pen. And I think the intensity of this color with such a glamorous, crazy pen, I think would work really, really well. So I think personally, I mean, you guys can let me know in the comments. Obviously, everybody's taste is different, but I think the best contenders are probably this nice brown one, the golden brown from Diamine, the Einstein ring, and actually I really like the Paradise Blue, and what was that other one? Infinity. So I think this is kind of the color palette we're looking at. So I am going to think about it, and then I will come back with what I inked it up with. Okay, so I decided to go with the Private Reserve Infinity Turquoise for a very matchy match, even though I kept going back. Actually, I was going back between these two because I just think that purple in here is just so unusual and interesting, and even on the glitter in here there is a little hint to that pinkish purple. So I don't know, I think I'm just gonna go with this, and then I will probably try this out at a later point once I have written with this for a little bit. But this one is the most matchy, and so I thought I would just go with it just for fun. Okay, let's ink this up. So the Benu comes with a converter, which is nice already. It's not a branded converter or anything. And I'm not going to ink it up all the way. I'm just going to put a little bit in it just so that I can try it out. So this is just a sheet of loose leaf Sarasara paper. So I really like this paper because it tends to show shading and sheen really well. I'm going to put on my little drawing glove here because this paper tends to pick up oils pretty easily. And let's see if it writes. So this is, whoa, look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, I think it's a good match, especially to the cap here. So this is, wow, that is a wet nib. This is a fine. I got it in the fine because all the videos that I saw and reviews said that the Schmidt nibs are really very wet, and so I didn't want it to be too crazy, and you can see all the lovely variation in that. So this is private. Wow, the hype is actually real about these nibs. This is like really nice to write with. And this is Infinity Turquoise. And this is the Wow, it has a little bit of bounce to it, this nib. And it's a big nib. I think this is maybe, is this a 6? I'm not sure, I'll have to look it up. This is the BENU Euphoria in Gold Coast, and this is an Atlas Stationers exclusive. Wow, this nib is really interesting. It feels very different to other nibs. It's a little bit bouncy and super wet, and definitely writes more like a medium. And there is a little bit of feedback. I think you might be able to hear it in the writing, but it is really smooth. And it's not glossy smooth. There definitely is a tactile feel to it, which I really like. Like, it doesn't feel like you're slipping all over the page. There's a little bit of grip to it, but it is not catching. It is not, that's backwards writing. And for lefties, it just feels really nice. It's like a very smooth. That's terrible handwriting. I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm really good at cursive, and then sometimes when I get on camera, I just write like an idiot, and I forget what I'm doing because I'm also trying to make sure I spell things right. But I normally write really fast. That's not much better, but anyway, a little more natural. But yeah, this is really gorgeous. I love it, and I think this color goes really, really well. There's a bunch of shading in this ink. It definitely matches this kind of mid area of the cap the best. As you come up from here in the gold, this definitely has more of that purple in it and the greenish jade. It matches quite well with the section 2 where those two colors mix together, the black and the teal-y jade. But yeah, definitely in here. I think in the cap there's kind of, I don't know, it's really mysterious. I think it is just sort of a dark teal shimmer, and as it mixes with the other things it kind of gets a little greener. Wow. Oh, I'm so excited. This was, I am really excited. You never know what you're going to get when you get a resin, one of these pens. For the most part they're pretty consistent, but I obviously got way more gold in here than some other pens that I've seen. I think the distribution of this big chunk glitter is really nice on this one. It kind of just looks like, you know, little artifacts in the sand, and then in the ocean here it could be, you know, fish and shimmering and stuff. And I don't know, I mean, I know it's an abstract concept of a Gold Coast, but really, really, really lovely. And it has the clip. Oh, the clip is kind of springy. That's kind of cool. And it's a really beautiful design, and the clip goes down into the type here on the logo, which is very subtle. I guess that would have been nice. Well, you know, I was going to say I guess it would have been nice to match the gold as well, but I don't know, because this is so cool toned up here. I think it's a nice transition from this gold up into here, having the silver logo and the silver trim here. But I think they could have gone with either. Because of this gold, it would have been fine to have it in here. The only issue may have been that when choosing the actual gold, it might not have matched this. It might have been a warmer gold, and then it would look weird. So probably having the silver clip and nib is a better bet to make it look more cohesive. So yeah, and this shimmer in here, like all of this glitter, although it has kind of a gold hue, it's more of a chartreusey green color, which I think goes way better with the silver. So overall, I think they did a beautiful job. I really like the Euphoria model. Again, I was considering getting one of the talismans instead, but I was really unsure about the actual pen model, and I didn't really like the divots in the pen. It's a different thing to this, whereas it just seemed like it might have too much going on, whereas I love these facets on here. It feels really nice. It's interesting as a sort of a fidget thing as well, but I am really glad I went with this, and unfortunately I really like it, and I probably will want to get more. But yeah, I know I said unfortunately because my budget won't like that, and I splurged out on getting this one because I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. So this is an Atlas Stationers exclusive, and I ended up missing out the first time, but I got it on the second round where they have more in stock, and as of today I just checked, they have all the nib sizes in stock if you want to check them out. I really recommend the fine. Oops, I didn't write that on here. This is a fine. I'll just put it up here. And again, I really find this really interesting, this bounciness to it. I just didn't really know what people were talking about, but the Schmidt nib it's a delight. I really enjoy it. So yep, I love it. I think that's all I have to say about it. Thanks for sharing this unopening or unboxing with me, and I hope it was helpful. And yeah, let me know in the comments whether you guys have any Benus, and if you like the Euphoria model better than the Talisman or any of the other models. Oh yeah, and I am actually an affiliate with Atlas Stationers, and so I have a code that you guys can use to get 10% off. I'll put it in the description, but it will get you 10% off this Benu or any other Benu, as well as a bunch of other brands on their site. I think there are some exclusions, but for the most part you can get 10% off your whole purchase, and you can use it every time you visit their site. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, so thanks guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!